What's up? What's up? It's your girl Angie Fox in the house. In the house. I thank God for being with you again on for this beautiful episode of We Are One. That's right. We Are One, the number one show on the number one empowerment platform in the land. You already know what time it is. Call your neighbors and friends and everybody you know. Tell them to stay tuned in to the best empowerment platform in the land. That's www.empowermentpodcastnetwork.com. And join us right here for We Are One, the podcast. Listen, y'all know how I do. I show off, I show off, I show off when I roll with my peeps. So y'all know I'm already showing off, right? Because I have a very special guest in the house, and it's my honor and my pleasure to have her rolling with us on today. And it's her first time on the air with us. So I want y'all to give it up and welcome my little cousin, the beautiful Shay Shay, not Club Shay Shay. This is
Yes.
another Shay Shay. This is the other Shay Shay. We call her Sharon. You can call her Sharon Gass Holland. She's a beautiful songbird, beautiful spirit young lady. She is our sister queen of the month for
Yeah.
June. Yay, yay. Welcome, Sharon. Welcome. Thank you for being here with us on today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, indeed. It's
And
our
I'm so
pleasure.
honored to have been chosen.
I know, right? It is an honor, and we are honored. Hey, look how we overkill with the honor. Never can overkill with honor. Honor is always good. It is our honor and pleasure to be able to celebrate you as our
Yeah.
sister queen of the month. That's right. I also have you in the house rolling with me, your girl. You know you got my girl with us. She's on the ones and twos. Is that what they call it, Brett?
No, that
Something like that. There's not the ones and the twos, but she's on the threes and the fours. How about that? None other than Brett herself in the house, rolling as the co-host of We Are One, and she is here to help us celebrate Sharon Shay Gass Holland. What's up, Brett?
What's up? What's up? What's going on, family?
Yeah. So we take some time out of our schedule. I thank God for her joining us on this evening to be with Sharon and let us talk a little bit about what makes her a sister queen of the month. Now, just so you all will know, here on We Are One, we make sure every month that we celebrate a sister queen.
Yes.
We found out a long time ago that it is okay to celebrate yourself and celebrate victories and to applaud for yourself and all of that and enjoy life. Well, other side of that is we found out that it is perfectly okay to celebrate each other. So we endeavor
amen.
to celebrate a different sister queen every single month. Now,
Yes.
our criteria is very basic. Has to be a woman, one who is strong and compassionate and beautiful. And y'all know that goes beyond the physical, although this one is beautiful on the outside too. Someone
Thank you.
who strength is exemplified in what she does, someone who's shaking and moving
Yes.
and doing and making an impact in the lives of others, somebody who is encouraging and inspirational and even empowering to other people, somebody who has walked past obstacles and is living life to the fullest. So that
Yes.
all sums up our guest on today. She was nominated and she was selected as our winner. So, congratulations, Sharon. Congratulations. We are
Yes.
so happy to be able to celebrate you on today. So, tell us something. Who is Sharon Gass Holland?
Yeah. Um, I am. When I think of myself, I'm Pat and Leon's daughter. Um,
Only daughter.
and yeah, only daughter. I am Sheldon's wife, Jalen's mom, Freddie G's little sister, Tori and Tavian's aunt. um, but who I am, for me, I'm just somebody who just works hard, try to help others as much as I can, and just try to live life pleasing God. That's kind of
Yes.
my motto. If you please God, then the other stuff will come into play. People won't always be
Hey.
happy, but if you're pleasing God, it'll all work out. So
All
that's
right
that's
now.
how I kind of see myself.
I
Yeah,
like that. So she's a God's girl. First and foremost,
for
she's
sure,
she's a wife, a
for
mom,
sure.
sister, and all that, but she's God's daughter, and she lives to please Him. And I'm here to tell you, she does. And she also sings. She left that part out. She is a singer, not like me, you know. I'm always trying to sing at the church, and they always take the
Mhm.
microphone and don't want me to help them sing. But she really is. She's a beautiful psalmist. She sings.
Yes.
She can sing, will sing, and does sing in church. And she and her husband actually sang together different places on many occasions as well. So they gel well together. And she's been nominated as our sister queen. Now, I'm gonna tell you this part about her, because this is the little cousin. She's my first cousin. Our moms were sisters, and she's been in my life her whole life. And one of the things about her that really stood out for me over the years and as I watched her is we share grandmother. So out of my grandmother's daughters, because she had no sons, and all the first cousins, our group, we call it our Kelsey, our grandmother's name was Kelsey. Kelsey's kids, out of that group of a very large extended family, she was the first to graduate college. She
Oh
was the
wow.
first. She was the first to get a master's degree. As a matter of fact, she was the reason that my nephew Bernard graduated college because he wanted to be like her. I remember hearing him say that because she
Oh
went to
wow.
college. So she made history in our family. And I remember watching her even as she was in school and when it was time for her to graduate. And I just admired that, because I'm like, I'm always quitting everything. And Sharon's younger than me, and she graduated, and I was just super proud of her. But she didn't stop with the first degree; she went on to the second degree, and professionally, she's something like a big deal. She didn't bring that up. So I'm gonna let her tell us who she is professionally because you're looking at her and you see this beautiful, dainty woman that with a very soft spoken voice, and she says she loves God and she pleases God and everything else will fall in line. But what she didn't say is she's putting a lot of work, and
Yeah.
with her strong work ethic and determination, she has accomplished some things in her life, which all are a part of her. So, talk to us about your professional life first. What do you do, Sharon?
Well, I work for the Department of Probation, Parole, and Pardon Services, where I have been for 30 years. It actually be 31 in July. I started out in a specialized position that we were doing background investigator. So I actually came on as an investigator and later became a line agent. Became a supervisor of what we
Mhm.
call team leaders. And then I was actually the agent in charge for both Sumter and Lee counties. And actually
Okay.
in Lee, I was the first Black agent there ever when I
See,
started.
still making
As
history.
late as it was, and that was like 2000 actually, year 2000. But they never had a Black agent there. And believe me, they let me know it.
Uh,
um, I answered the phone once and was called like, can I talk to the Black lady? And I was like, well, since I'm the only African American employee here, I guess you are talking to the Black lady. Um, but yeah, then I became the agent in charge in Sumter County. I went on to be a hearing officer for the department for a little while. And presently I am what they call the resource and sanctions manager. And I'm just responsible for things like our drug testing, our fingerprinting, public service, and different things for the entire state.
for the
Oh
entire
wow.
state. So all I heard was boss. I don't know. I don't know what you all heard. Because let me tell you how I talk about her when I'm talking to people, especially people that I know in the penal system. And when they start calling me when they get in trouble, can you call your cousin, the judge, and get her to help us out? And I always just kind of throw that around. My cousin Sharon is a judge. She's not serving on a bench, but she is a judge. She runs probation and parole. Okay. If listen, they report to her. She is the it in charge. That's how I talk about you to everybody.
Oh,
So
wow.
everybody who knows me, even our family members, and we got a whole lot of children, so not telling their business, but even then, when they get in any kind of trouble, I get phone calls. Yeah, can you call your cousin the judge and see if she can help me get out? No, I'm not calling her because you shouldn't have done it. But
Right.
she is somebody professionally, and we are very, very proud of her.
Yeah.
And I was laughing because when years ago, when I believe in, I don't know if when she first started, which position she was holding, but it was the year that I found out she carried a gun and knocked
Okay.
on people's doors
Did
to
and still do
to
sometimes.
arrest them. You had to
Yes,
go pick people up.
I did. I
And I'm
did. We
like,
had
Sharon, nobody's scared of you. Your little voice can't even get loud. You're not
but see,
threatening.
Angie, the thing about that was it it wasn't fear, but because I treated them right when they was
Yeah.
coming through, and they knew if I came to get them, they had really messed up. I very rarely ran into any issues. Now,
Wow.
this new generation, I don't know, but back then, they respected you if you treated them like somebody.
Right. So that and that speaks volumes.
It does.
That's a characteristic trait which exemplifies why she's here today as the queen, sister queen of the month, because it carries on. I'm not around her every day. We travel in different circles, but she's my
Right.
little cousin that I watch, and I've known her whole life. And Sharon, I must be honest with you. And I said this about Frederick. That's her brother, my first cousin. I'll say this about you to your face. I've never, ever seen you step out of character and behave unseemingly. Now, I'm not saying you've never done it because I don't know if you have, but I've
Right.
never witnessed it in the 50 plus years that you've been alive. I've never seen or heard of it. And that speaks incredible volumes. I'm telling you,
I look at
especially for
Sabrina.
somebody who's
Sabrina,
loud and act up all the time. I'm telling you. And to come from a family where we are known for being loud and abrasive, and I've never ever seen it in you. I've never seen it. So you deserve to be honored for that, if nothing else. Because, honey, let me tell you, in the career field that you've chosen and the heights that you've climbed in your on your professional job and even in ministry, as you stand in a position of authority and leadership in ministry, to still be able to say, I am all about pleasing God, and your soft demeanor, your kind spirit shines through and through. And I've never heard, not even in church, about you acting up or anybody having an issue with you because of an attitude. I've just never heard it. And that is definitely God is pleased with that. So that is a great attribute. That's a great character trait to have. So that's one more thing for me to admire you for and say, well, maybe I need to be more like Sharon in that area because I'm so far from that. You're like, well,
oh,
y'all know how she is. Just leave her alone because you know she's not gonna,
right,
you know.
right.
But not you. You just
Smallest thing in
always
the
sweet.
room, but the biggest attitude.
Yeah, right. So we thank you for that. I don't know what can you tell us why? What is that? Because many people can say they are like that, but not very many of us can say that we're always like that. So what is it about you that drives you to always maintain that level of decorum and kindness
Oh,
that so many of us
hmm.
see?
Well, I really don't know. I think because I had protection for so long, like no one really messed with me, even professionally when I first started out because they knew my mom
I was
and
going to
she
say because
had the
you a pat
reputation of
daughter.
messing with
Yeah,
my
my
baby.
auntie was a different. My auntie was the opposite. Now my auntie didn't play. Yeah, my auntie was something else. The three sisters were something else. So that's why I cut you off on that because you when you said that well not fear but whatever it was because they knew who you were. They knew who your mom was, and they rather
Right.
treat you good than to deal with your mom. Because Auntie will rip him another one.
Precisely.
Yeah, Auntie will rip him one. And if she got mad enough, her two sisters would come along and help her, So I get that. But it had to be more than that. What is it about Sharon though?
I don't know. Um, I just felt like I saw, I saw the aggressiveness sometimes and with family members when I love them and that's who they are. But I just decided like, you know what, I'm just gonna try something different. And if it don't work, I think subconsciously I knew I did have people who had my back. So if
Right.
I got into something, they were going to be there. But I don't know, it was just never something I gravitated to. I mean, I would laugh with you guys and laugh at y'all sometimes.
Yeah.
And in the back of my mind, I mean, if y'all needed me to step up now, sister can, she
I
can
go
buck if
there.
she got to. Now, don't get me wrong. But I guess for some reason, I always maybe carried myself as the peacemaker because I would just rather see harmony than anything else. So if I could help with the peace, then I would. Um, I don't know. I guess maybe that's the couldy in me.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah. That's our
But
grandmother.
yeah,
She was kind and gentle like that because I've never seen her act out either. Although I've seen it in her daughters and most of her grandchildren. I've never seen it in her. So I concur. That could very well be you got that gene. All of us didn't get that,
yeah,
but you said something key. Yeah, it was always like subconsciously you always kind of you knew what you didn't want. You didn't want to be the aggressive, abrasive type that you saw so much of in, when we all got
right.
together, you know.
Yeah.
So I guess that can be a driving force to keep your mind focused on, all right, I'm not feeling good about this right now, but I'm not going to act out. I'm not going to get loud. I
Right.
just don't know how to talk that soft, but you don't know how to talk loud. But I get it. That's wonderful. That's a beautiful trait to
Oh,
have.
look at Sabretta's face. Now I can get a little loud.
Okay, so
Well,
Bretta, so Bretta.
I say that, but no, everything Angela said is true. When it comes to Sharon, Sharon is the more soft spoken one
Yeah.
out of all of us, I believe. I used to say that it was me,
Who?
that I was the soft spoken, but I no, Sharon is. But I wanted to ask a question because you do a lot in the community, and
Hmm.
in the area of service, that I me personally that I noticed, and admire about you. Was there something that happened, or what was it within you that you recognize that the area of service was where you wanted to be? Like I say, you're always doing something in a community, and
Yeah.
then based on your professional, it seems like all of that gels together with being out in the community and just serving others. Was that something? Did you always see yourself doing that, or was there something that happened that made you feel like that's where the area I want to be in?
I think maybe just some choices that I made. And I remember actually going through the School of Ministry at Full Gospel. And it was Pastor Janet Williams, shout out to her. She taught a class called Ministry of Helps. And it was one of the courses that we did when we were going through the School of Ministry. And I guess I just saw myself in there, or, saw myself there. And I realized I'm somebody who's always assisting somebody to get to where they need to be, whether it's professionally, at the time when I was agent in charge and I was an agent, I had agents underneath me. I always wanted to see them become supervisors, go higher than what I did.
Okay.
So I think just really learning about ministry of helps kind of showed me who I was. And so now, and then my dad is actually, he's kind of like a role model for me, as far as just doing the community cleanups, because he's always out there. We're always out there together when we're doing it. Um, and it's just actually, it's as corny as it may sound, it just really gives me pleasure to clean up my community. I mean, I'm a South Side girl through and through. Sometimes I ride through and, it's kind of sad what you see, but instead of talking about it and, dwelling about what you see, then I try to just do what I can to make it better when
Okay.
I can. I can't do it all the time, and it's not a one woman's task. And I try to pull people in to help out. But I do. I just we're South Side. I mean, we was across the tracks growing up, but it was always it's our hub. It's where we grew up. All we knew was South Side, and there's a lot of good on South Side. So,
Yeah.
kind of my motivation is just to kind of bring something back, give back as much as I can to an area that really really helped me to become the person that I am.
Okay. So even though you don't live on the south side, you still see it as home and you give back and you give into that community no matter what. I love that. I really love that. And you mentioned your dad, how he's always with you in these areas when you're serving in the community. And we see it on
Right.
social media because you always posting your time with him and got him
Yeah.
out there walking for these walks and but heart walks and breast cancer walks and all these things and just always doing in the community. And that's wonderful. So I wanted to ask, I guess in line with what Sabretta just asked you and what you just said, because you also listening to you, you also demonstrate strong work ethic. That it takes strong work ethic, even to give back in the community and always participating in the serving in the community. And uh, I know what I think the answer is, but I'm going to ask you for what you think the answer is. Where did you think that come from? Your strong work ethic to just always be doing and
It's what I
excelling.
saw. Yeah, it's what I saw. I saw it in my parents. I saw it in Auntie Helen. I saw it in Grandma Cuddy, who was essentially a single mother, but raised three strong daughters. So just, I mean, I don't know nothing but work. Like my
Yeah,
dad, literally, I thought about it today until he retired after the accident and really couldn't work anymore. My daddy worked two jobs
yeah,
my entire life.
Wow.
My mom, she essentially had two jobs. She worked at the plant. She went from Georgia Pacific to BD, but then she had the sewing business on the side.
yes,
You
a
know, so
thriving
it's
business.
I
Yeah.
just saw it, and so it was just, and even
Okay.
my the grandmothers, like I said, Grandma Cuddy, but my Grandma Vesta, who worked for T.A. Davis. People don't know what that is. That was a car
Mm.
dealership out Broad Street, but she worked for them for years until she couldn't work anymore.
Because
So
in
I
an
guess it's
environment where so many, being from the same family, I can speak on some of the family dynamics, but just in the community, being raised in the same communities, when
mm,
and even when we see that, we still have so many young people that opt to not do. They opt to be lazy or work, rather have someone hand them what they want rather than get out and, as the young people say, grind for it, or to
Mm.
go to school and get that education, to get the degree, to get the position that you want, and then work it to the point that you are recognized because you work on such a level of excellence that you excel in your career field. So even with that, because your brother Frederick, same thing, workhorse, you know. So you're right, it's always been around you. But even in
mm,
our immediate family, we still have some that chooses to not engage in their own growth
Mm.
right.
and given in the community. So that still speaks volumes back to who you really are and why you're here today, because you made the choice. And at a very young age, as a matter of fact, because when you graduated college, you went straight into the workforce.
I
You didn't
did.
stop, did you? I don't
I
remember
did.
you
No,
taking a break or saying, I got my degree, let me breathe for a while. You went straight to work.
Oh, wow.
I did. I
Yeah,
did. I think it took me a year to get a job, but you know what happened? I graduated, couldn't find a job in my field, so I started working for Pastor Goodman
that
in the sewing
Genesis.
plant.
That's right.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact,
So and then
go ahead.
no, so then a year later, I was able to find a job
Yeah.
in my field, but I worked there from May of 1992 to I got this job in July of 1993.
Yeah. As a matter of fact,
I worked
you're
for
the reason
Genesis.
why I started working for him,
Okay.
because you brought in the computer and doing different things, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna learn how to do that. I was not gonna let you just out me in everything,
Wow.
although you were you were miles ahead. But I admired that, and you're the one. And I'll say this on the air right now for the whole world to hear. You're the one that taught me about an email account. When I
Really?
got divorced from my first husband and moved to DC to find a job to better my life with my for my children, I remember you had set up an email for me. You're the one told me. You might not even remember this. You were talking to me about interviewing because I knew I had to get out of the office where my brother owned the business and I can do what I want and doing everything by paper, that I had to learn how to fit in a city like Washington D.C. And I called you, and I first got to Washington when I got the first job interview. I called you because they needed to email me, and you talked me through how to pull up my email address and
Yeah, I
check
think it was an
email.
AOL account.
Yes, you're the first person to teach me that. I didn't know anything about emails or
Wow.
anything before you. So
Oh
you've been trailing
wow.
the trailing trailblazer and blazing the trail for me for a while.
Oh
So I've been
wow.
watching you, and even professionally. I've never been as quiet as you, but while I lived in DC, I went back to school. I got a degree. I kept moving. It's only two of you in our family that at that time, back in the early 2000s, 98 to early 2000s, that I was always thinking about being like, and that was you and our cousin Lorraine, because I watch you all go to college, get your degrees, and then get into the workforce and began excelling and operating on a level of excellence with strong work ethic while maintaining who you were. And I wanted that for myself. I wanted the professionalism for myself. I wanted to be able to move to DC and get the corporate job and wear the tennis shoes with my briefcase in my hand and my heels in my briefcase. And I got a chance to experience that. And even when I before I went back to school, I was on my first job in DC. And I remember saying, my cousin Sharon got a degree. I want one. And they awarded me an opportunity to get all kinds of tutoring to learn the different software programs first, and even
Okay.
to up my typing skills and all of that so that I could excel on my job in the office. And then the opportunity came a year or two later, where I was able to go back to school with tuition and books paid for. So
Awesome.
I
Okay.
was able to, I was like, I want to learn, I want to learn, I want to learn. I wanted to be professional. I wanted to be recognized as a professional. And I was able to accomplish that in DC. And once you learn it, nobody can take it away from you.
Oh no, for
So it
sure.
helped to mold me into the person that I became, to be driven to have my own and do the things that I've been blessed to do. So I just want to say thank you. I didn't nominate you because I refuse to nominate anybody, because I say if I now start nominating people, I'm gonna have to nominate every sister queen on We Are One the Movement page. So I just let other people do the nominating. But if I had to nominate somebody, you would definitely be one of them, because you deserve the honor, because you are actually, or should I say definitely, walking the shoes of a sister queen of the month, showing it and being an example for all the rest of us to follow. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So, is there
Thank you.
anything
Thank you.
else you would like for the people to know about you before we come to a close?
Um, just keep a sister in your prayers. I mean, life is still lifing,
Life is still
but I
life.
thank God for what's in me to just forge through the ups and the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows. But I like it took me a while to start liking me. I mean, I know
Yeah.
y'all saw what y'all saw, but I struggled with some self-esteem issues for a long time.
Wow.
Um, so I'm glad to be to the point where I like me. Not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I just believe that if you just keep moving forward, keep trusting God, keep believing in yourself and putting the work into yourself, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
It's one thing to lift somebody else up, and so you should, but you have to do some internal stuff first to get
That's
to a
right.
certain point. And I thank God that that's kind of where I am now. I'm not
Okay.
nonchalant, I'm not not caring, but I'm not moved by a whole lot anymore
Wonderful.
because you see a lot, but I believe in Sharon and I love
Yes.
Sharon. And so I'm gonna love you, but I feel like you ain't love me back the way I should. And I ain't gonna cut you
Oh,
off.
move right on.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
ain't gonna dwell there either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
So
So we thank God for you for being here. Thank you for sharing that. And I'm thinking low self-esteem. Child, you always been the cute one. I don't see what your problem was. But it's an eternal thing. So we thank you for
it
sharing
is.
that. And we will
It
continue to
is.
pray for you and lift you up before our Father, because where you are now is where you need to be. Love yourself. And that goes for every one of you that listening to us on today. Love yourself, because you can't love yourself, you can't love anyone else. So
Right.
love yourself and get into that place where you're comfortable and good with you.
Yeah.
Encourage yourself and put the work in on yourself. as you're excelling in other areas of your life. So we thank God for each of you who have tuned in with us today on We Are One. And we want you to come back and be with us every day, anytime you feel like it, because we are on a podcast where you can catch us 24/7. So tune in and stay tuned in to the number one empowerment platform in the land. Again, www.empowermentpodcastnetwork.com for more. We Are One. God bless you. We love you. Thank God for your being with us. Holla at your girl.